Welcome. In this playthrough of Marvel Champions the card game, I have my first play using the Spider Suit and Spider Ham, and we're going to take on the Absorbing Man. So for our setup, since I really want to highlight the pre-con decks for each of these, I'm going with a simple or easier villain. Have Absorbing Man in here, starts with a scheme of 1, attack of 2, gains a trait of each environment in play, starts with 14 health per player, and just one main scheme. This one we are setting up with Hydra Patrol in here and set up discard cards from the counter deck until an environment is discarded. Put that card into play and shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. And a threshold of 12 per player. Force response after resolving step 1 of the villain phase, place a delay counter here. Force interrupt. When environment enters play, discard each other environment card in play. Starts with 4 threat per player, or 2 per player. So I am making one change in each of the decks. Since Spider Ham comes with Spider, and we're playing with that, I'm going to replace that ally with Spider Woman. And same thing over here, since Spider Suit comes in with Spider Ham, and that's who we're playing with on the other side, we're going to bring in Silk for that. So that's the only change I'm doing to the pre-cons. So for Spider Ham, it's got a thwart of 2, attack of 1, defense of 1. Each tune counter on Spider Ham can be spent as if it were a wild resource. Spider Nonsense, as a response after Spider Ham takes any amount of damage, place a tune counter on him, hand size of 5 and 12 health. Alter Ego's got a recovery of 5. Cartoon Power, as a response after you make a basic recovery, place a tune counter on Peter Porker, hand size of 6 on this side. So over here for Penny Parker, so we've got 2 identity cards. So whenever we're dealing with Penny Parker, we're going to have the inactive side on this one. So psychogenetic compatibility for setup, put Spider Suit into play, inactive side up. Maintenance, as an alter ego action, we can exhaust the Spider Suit to draw 2 cards, and she has a recovery of 4, hand size of 4, hit points of 14. So over here, permanent, this card's printed text box cannot be treated as if it were blank. Return to base as a force interrupt. When you flip to this side, flip Spider to Penny Parker. Detach Penny Parker from here, moving all counters on her and cards attached to her to this card. So then when we want to flip to our hero side, we're going to flip both of these cards over. So over here on the suit, we've got a thwart of 2, attack of 2, defense of 2. Sync ratio as a resource, exhaust an interface upgrade you control, generate that upgrade's resources. Hand size of 3 on this side. Then over here, we've got the permanent. This card's printed text box cannot be treated as if it were blank. And suit up, force interrupt. When you flip to this side, flip Spider Suit to its active side. Attach this card to the Spider Suit, moving all counters on this card or cards attached to this card to the Spider Suit. So basically, we've got hero form here and alter ego like that. All right, finishing our setup, shuffling the encounter deck. Then we're going to go looking for an environment and put that into play. So there we go. We've got a snowy hillside. Surge gets ignored. Force response after Absorbing Man makes an undefended attack against you. Place a threat on the main scheme. 2 threat instead if there are 5 or more delay counters on it. And then this will get shuffled back in. Then we can get our starting hands for each of our characters. Hard part about here is going to be remembering hand size of 4 and 3. So starting with that, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we've got Venom, Speed Metal Alloy, Daredevil, and Limitless Stamina. Just going to keep the alloy, pitch the other 3. Got Spider Command, Unshakable, and a Thwip Thwip. And then for Peter Porker, getting 6 cards. After a drop a few. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Daily Beagle, that's a keeper. Scarlet Spider, team building exercise, make an entrance. Spider-Man and Great Responsibility. We'll pitch those 3. Web Pig making an entrance and a Petulant Pig. So starting out, we're going to exhaust this to draw 2 cards. Aunt May and Uncle Ben and Spider-Man Noir. We'll go ahead and bring in Aunt May and Uncle Ben. So Persona as an action, exhaust Aunt May and Uncle Ben and discard the top 2 cards of your deck. 3 cards instead if you're in alter ego form. Add each spider card discarded this way to your hand. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And that's going to get us a web trap and all systems go. And we'll go ahead and bring in Spider Command as a location, hero action, exhaust Spider Command, and an interface upgrade to draw a card. Or as a hero action, exhaust Spider Command, choose and discard a card from your hand to ready an interface upgrade. So we are going to go ahead and flip over. And then exhaust this in an interface card to draw a card. Into Spider Tingle. Then we'll bring in the Speed Metal Alloy as a hero interrupt when Spider Suit defends against an attack. Exhaust this card. It gets +2 defense for that defense. Then we'll exhaust that for a resource to help play for a web trap. It's a hero action. Deal 5 damage to an enemy if you paid for this card using a resource generated by Spider Suit's sync ratio ability, which we are. Stun that enemy. So down to 23. And stunned. And I think we're done over here. And over here, we're going to bring in the Daily Beagle. It's an alter ego action. Exhaust this to place a tune counter on Peter Porker. Then we'll go ahead and flip over. Then we'll play the pig here. Stick your tongue out at the villain. The villain attacks you, and then draw 3 cards. So you just have to trust me. I stuck my tongue out. It's going to attack, lose stunned, and we will draw 3 cards. Team building exercise, Overwatch, and making an entrance. Then we'll bring in team building exercise. As hero action, exhaust this. Play a card from your hand that shares a trait with your hero, reducing its resource cost by 1. And our traits are Cartoon and Web Warrior. Then we're going to play Overwatch attached to a scheme. As a hero interrupt, when any amount of threat is removed from attached scheme by a thwart, discard this card, remove an equal amount of threat from a different scheme. Go ahead and put that there. Then we're going to thwart for 2. And end our turn. I'm going to go ahead and keep Spider-Man, drawing 4 more. Got another Petulant Pig. Followed Even the Odds and a team building exercise. Over here, we'll keep all systems go. Hand size of 3. Got Repurpose and a Rapid Deployment. All right, Absorbing Man is going to add 2 threats, and we're going to get a counter. And attacking over here, we're going to defend for 2, 3, 4. Absorbing Man has his Stone or Wood trait. You are stunned. He does not. So it did not take damage, and we defended. Then over here, we're just going to take it. A base 2, 3, 4. He has an Ice or Metal trait. Give him a tough status card. He does. It's 4 damage down to 8. We're going to get a token. And it was undefended, so we get a threat up here. And counter cards. Hydra Soldier, Scheme 1, attack of 2, 4 health. It's got guard, and when defeated, deal the engaged player an encounter card. And for Spider-Ham, see, we're in hero form. Absorbing Man attacks you. If he has a stone trait, he gets +1. He does not. We're just going to take it. So 1, 2, 3, 4 damage again, down to 4 health. Get a token. And it was undefended, so add another threat and pass first player. All right, we're going to bring in a team building exercise. Another one of those. Then we're going to make our next card 1 cheaper. Web Warrior. So that's 1, 2. We'll spend a resource here to bring him into play. Thwart 1, attack 1, 3 health. After he enters play, remove a threat from a scheme for each Web Warrior card you control, including this one. So it's going to be 2. And we're going to thwart for 1. Actually, no, he's going to attack for 1 to get rid of tough. Then we're going to flip over and recover for 5. Up to 9, which gets us a token. Then we can use that for another token. And we're going to discard 2 cards and keep none of them. We're going to exhaust that and that so we can draw a card. Web fluid compressor. Then we're going to ready each interface upgrade we control, which is that and that. Then exhaust both of those to remove 3 threat from a scheme. You pay for this card using a resource generated by the Spider Suit's ratio ability. Remove 3 threat from a scheme again. So basically we're taking 3 and 1. And ending our turn. We're going to keep that, throwing into a Psychic Link and Limitless Stamina. And over here we get 6, Hogwashed, Ham It Up, Great Responsibility, Swinging Web Pig, Web of Life and Destiny, and some cartoon physics. Next turn, 2 threat. Scheming over here for a base of 1, just 1. Attacking over here, we're going to go ahead and defend for 4. So 1, 2, 3, we're fine. Then we get hit for 2. And counter cards. Alter Ego, place 2 threat on the main scheme, 3 if he has the metal trait. It's ice, so 2 threat. And the villain's going to scheme for 1. Reveal this card. +1 scheme, +1 attack. You can spend a physical resource to shovel this back into the encounter deck. So it's going to be 2 more threat. And pass first player. We'll go ahead and try Aunt May and Uncle Ben, discarding 2, getting 1 card. We'll go ahead and exhaust this and that to draw a card. Limitless Stamina. We'll go ahead and use 1 to play only if your identity has at least 14 printed hit points, which we do. It's printed as 14 to ready your hero. Then we're going to bring in a Web Fluid Compressor. And when we make a basic attack, exhaust this, it gets +2 for that attack. So we're going to attack for 4 to defeat here, which gets us an encounter card. And over here, exhaust for a token. Go ahead and flip over. We're going to ham it up. Remove 1 threat from a scheme for each toon counter on Spider Ham. So we've got 5 counters. We're going to bring in Web of Life and Destiny. Ignore this card's resource cost if your identity has a Web Warrior trait, which we do. After a Web Warrior ally leaves play, choose a player. That player draws a card. Exhaust Team Building. So that's going to come in for free since it's a cartoon and we are. As an interrupt when your identity would take any amount of damage, discard this card, wiggle your body, and prevent all but 1 of that damage. We're going to do a Swinging Web Pig, using those 2 to pay for it, plus 1 of these. Deal 6 damage to an enemy and confuse that enemy. So down to 17. And confused. And we'll attack for 1. Down to 16, and thwart for 2. And end our turn. I want all my interfaces up top. All right, 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Rapid Deployment, Spider Tingle, and Force Field Generator. Over here, Ham It Up, I don't think so, followed Spider-Woman and Overwatch. So 2 threat. We get our 3rd counter. Attacking over here, we're going to defend again for 4. Got 3 coming at us. put this card into play is the boost. So now on an undefended attack, discard a resource icon from your hand. Of course, we defended, took no damage. Attacking over here, going to let Spider-Man take this one. I don't want to pitch cards from my hand. So 3-4 damage. And we had a Web Warrior leave play, so we're going to choose ourselves to draw. No, we're going to choose him to draw a card. Unshakable. And counter cards. First one, Inherited Burden, give to Penny Parker. Let's see, may flip their alter ego form. Choose to either exhaust Penny Parker or remove this from the game. Or choose and discard an interface upgrade you control. We're going to flip to alter ego. And then we're going to exhaust to remove from the game. So that's one nice thing about this card. So even though we defended there, when we flip back over, she can still free to exhaust. Next up, Alter Ego, place 2 threat on the main scheme, 3 threat if we have the metal trait, which we do. And over here with metal, Swordman gets a tough status and heal 1 damage from him. So up to 17 and tough. Pass first player. Going to ham it up, removing 1 threat from a scheme for each tune counter, so that's going to be 4. And Spider-Woman, thwart 1, attack for 2/3 health, reduce the cost to play her by 1 for each confused enemy in play, so just spending 2. And really don't care about those. And then we will attack for 1 to get rid of tough, and attack for 2 down to 15. Well, let's see. Tell you what we will do. We'll make it 1 cheaper. So I can keep that physical resource to spend it to shuffle that back into the encounter deck. See if we can keep that from coming out for a little bit. Then we'll use this to discard 3 cards. And we're going to get to keep all systems go. And we'll exhaust these to draw a card. Then we're going to ready each interface upgrade we control. We'll flip over first, then play that as a hero action to ready our interfaces. Then we'll spin those 3 to bring in a force field generator. Get 6 energy counters. Let's see, force interrupt. When you would take any amount of damage, remove that from that many energy counters from here. For each energy counter removed this way, prevent 1 of that damage. Then we'll bring in Spider Tingle. It's an interrupt. When you would reveal an encounter card, deal 1 damage to a Web Warrior character you control. That card is a treachery, cancel its when revealed effects, and discard Spider Tingle. And end your turn. We're going to keep, I don't think so. One way or another. Organic webbing, Captain Americat. And one way or another. Go ahead and keep rapid deployment. Repurpose and Spider-Man. All right. 2 and a 4th token. Attacking over here. Going to defend with Spider-Woman. 4 damage. She is out. And we'll have him draw a card. And basically, because I don't want to lose a card, I'm going to defend over here. So 4 defense. 4 damage coming our way, so we're going to be fine. If he has the ice or metal trait, give him a tough status. And in counter cards, the villain attacks you. And we're just going to take it. So 3 damage coming our way. Down to 6. Grab a token. Discard a resource from our hand. And over here, place a threat on the main scheme for every 2 delay counters on the main scheme. If no threat was placed this way, this card gains surge. We're going to get 2 threat on here. And pass first player. Really want that thing to change. All right, discarding 2 cards. Get to keep a host spider and pitch that. So exhaust this to ready the spider suit. Seems like a no-brainer. All right, we're going to use that to help bring in the host spider and exhaust that. Let's see, that is an interface to ready here. All right, we're going to use that as a resource to help bring in Spider-Man. So play only if you control a Web Warrior card, which he is. After you play him from your hand, ready an upgrade you control. If that upgrade has the tech trait, draw a card. So we will go ahead and ready that. He comes into play. I need more room for this guy, so I think we're just going to move Spider-Ham over. Throw into a web trap. Then we're going to, well, could attack for 4. Well, let's see. If he attacks, takes 2 damage and goes away. Yeah, we're just going to attack to get rid of Tough and have him thwart for 1. Then we'll exhaust this and discard a card from our hand to ready an interface upgrade, which will get this so we can exhaust it to ready and then attack for 4. So he's got lots of options there. That was exhausted. All right, now Spider-Ham. Use some team building to bring in an organic webbing. Gives us +1 thwart as a hero action. Exhaust webbing and remove a tune counter from Spider-Ham. To ready him, gives him the aerial trait until the end of the phase. Then we'll do a little bit more team building and spend 2 resources to bring in Captain Americat. Thwart to 2, attack for 2/3 health. After you enters play, give someone a high 5. Yay me. Place a tune counter on your identity. And shuffle 1 Spider-Ham card from your discard pile into your deck. And I kind of like the swinging web pig. So shuffle that in there. Then we're going to thwart for 2. And exhaust that, spend a token to ready. Then we'll have him thwart for 2. Then we're going to flip over, get a token, and recover for 5, up to 11. And get another token, and end our turn. All right, pretty big board presence here. So maybe it's time we start doing something with it. Go ahead and keep that. Been holding on to that for a while. See, even the odds one way or another. Another even the odds. Swinging web pig and followed. And over here, we went through our deck. All systems go and 2 energy barriers and an extra encounter card. All right. So Absorbing Man. 5. So now it's going to start triggering some worse things. Attacking over here. Spider-Man's going to defend. 1, 2, 3 damage. He's out. Have Peter Porker draw a card. Overwatch. Then goes Scheme over here. Lose Confused. And counter cards. So I kind of like when I'm playing new characters to play with something simple just so I can see how their decks work. Really not impressed with all the Justice cards for this set. Seems like there's a lot of conditional things here of removing threat from side schemes or these going on side schemes. So a lot of cards that are dead. Of course, that could have changed with a different villain, but very conditional nonetheless. But I get to see how their base cards go, so pretty neat how he builds up here. Person counter card. All right, there's your side scheme. Avalanche. When revealed, each player must choose to either spend a energy resource or take 2 indirect damage, 3 instead, since there's 5 on here. Comes in with 4 threat. Oh, we've got plenty of even the odds on this side. We easily take the 3 indirect damage right here, since our resources are so valuable. Then Shadows of the Past, and that's what the Spider Tingle is for. When you would reveal an encounter card, deal a damage to a Web Warrior character you control, which will come off of this. If that card is a treachery, cancel its when revealed effects and discard Spider Tingle. So, no thanks, Shadow of the Past. Then on this side, Alter Ego will gain Surge. And to discard a card at random from your hand. If he has a wood trait, he does not. So discarding a card from her hand. Losing even the odds, and then pass first player. I'm going to grab a token. We'll play Overwatch over here. Let's see. Flip over. Thwart for 3. Spin that to take 3 off of this one. Spend a token to ready. Then we'll thwart to get rid of that. Attack for 2, down to 9. And reduce the cost of a cartoon card. Deal 6 damage to an enemy and confuse them. Down to 3. See if we get any good cards here. Discarding 2, getting all systems go. So 2 interfaces. To bring in an energy barrier, gets 3 counters. When you would take any amount of damage, remove a reflection counter from here, prevent one of that damage, and deal damage to an enemy. And then 2 more interfaces for another energy barrier. Then all systems go. Ready each interface upgrade you control. Then we are going to attack for 4, which will defeat the first version. All right. Scheme of 2, attack of 2, gains a trait of each environment in play. When revealed, if super absorbing power is in play, deal a counter card to each player. Otherwise, search the deck and discard pile for it and reveal it. Shuffle the encounter deck if it was searched for this way. And coming in with 30 health. And super absorbing power. So absorbing man gains the ice, metal, stone, and wood traits. Comes in with 6 threat. Then we're going to ready and attack for 2 down to 28. And ender turn. keep? I don't think so. Again, cartoon physics, swinging web pig, huge wooden hammer, and lady spider. And an encounter card. Shuffle through here. And over here, 3 cards. Repurpose, repurpose, repurpose. All right. 2 threat, 6 tokens. Attacking over here and defending. So base 2, 3 damage coming in. He takes all that, and we're going to try to get something useful for him. All right, so much for that. And we're going to go undefended for 1, 2, 3 damage. 2 is going to come off of this. Then we will redirect 1 here. It was undefended, so we're going to get... Oh, we have to discard 2 resources. That's right. 2 cards I didn't care about. Then encounter cards. First one, got an avalanche. We've seen that before. Need to get rid of some energy resources. Or take 3 indirect damage. We're going to choose that route. Down to 8. And gain a resource. Then the villain's going to scheme. Not terrible. So 3, 4. And over here, Dense Forest was Surge. So that goes away. We get another card. So in the forest, taking 2 indirect damage if we don't defend. And then place a threat on the main scheme for every 2 delay counters on the main scheme. So that's going to be 3. And pass first player. All right, Ant-Man, Uncle Ben. See if we get any cards. We've got Venom and a Web Trap. So we're going to spend 2 there and 2 resources from down here. So we get +1 thwart and +1 attack for each sim counter owner. After enters play, place a sim counter owner for each resource generated by our sync ratio abilities, which is going to be 2. Then we are going to attack for 4. Down to 23. And then ready. Then we're going to thwart for 3. Down here and thwart for another 2. To get rid of the avalanche. Then exhaust that, discard a card from her hand to ready and interface. We'll get the host spider so we can exhaust that to ready our spider suit and attack for 2 down to 21. Then we're going to thwart for 3. Spend a counter to ready and thwart for 3 again. Then we're going to bring in Lady Spider, reducing the cost there, spending the other 3 from up here. 4 to 2, attack for 2 for health. After she thwarts and removes threat from a scheme, if you control another Web Warrior card, remove an equal amount of threat from a different scheme, but we're just going to thwart for 2. And do some more team building with a cartoon to deal 6 damage to an enemy, and if we could, confuse him again. But down to 15. And we'll go ahead and flip over and get a token. End her turn. So continuing to hold on to that, even though it's a hero interrupt at the moment. Web Pig, even the odds. Another web pig. All right, the game's going to be over after this round. And followed. Over here, get her 3 cards. Thwip Thwip, Spider-Man Noir, and Silk. So 2 threat, our 7th token. It's going to attack over here. We're going to take it. So it's a base 3 for 5 damage. We're going to redirect 2 back to him. Down to 13. We take 3 down to 9. And since it was undefended, we've got 2 indirect damage. We'll assign all to the suit to deal 2 damage back, down to 11. Then scheming over here, loses confused. And in counter cards, acceleration token and shuffle. Oh yeah, that's out of the way. All right, Surge, got a Rocky Outcrop. So that is doing damage or healing from him. Surge into Absorbing Man attacks you. If he has Stone Trade, he gets +1 for this activation, which he does. We're going to have Lady Spider defend on that. So 3 for damage, well 5. It was defended. And we're going to choose Peter Porker to draw. In counter card, got a Hydra Regular, Insight 1, Schema 1, attack for 2 and 2 health. And pass first player. Oh, we'll use this to get another token. And we're going to flip over. Play one way or another. Searching counter deck for a side scheme. Reveal that side scheme and draw 3 cards. And we'll just give him his super absorbing power back. With 6 threat. Then we draw into a one way or another, even the odds, and a followed. We're going to stick her tongue out again and have the villain attack us. Then we'll draw 3 cards. So he's attacking for base 3, 4, 5. If he has an ice or metal trait, he gets a tough status, so he'll get tough out of this. We didn't defend, but we're going to use our cartoon physics to wiggle our body and prevent all but 1 of that damage. So take a damage, grab a token, and then he's going to heal 2 up to 13. So I'm not helping my case, but we get to draw 3 more cards, ham it up, team building exercise, and Overwatch. So we're going to play Overwatch on that, along with the followed. So attach to a side scheme. When attached scheme is defeated, deal 4 damage to an enemy. We're going to ham it up, removing a threat from a scheme for each tune counter, which is 5. So there's 1 left on there. So we'll go ahead and thwart to remove that one and spend 1 to ready. When we did the earlier thwart, we could have removed 5 from here. Now we've defeated this scheme. That's going to deal 4 damage to an enemy. We're going to take out the regular here. Then we're going to attack to get rid of tough. Do some team building. Swinging web pig. Deal 6 damage to an enemy and confuse them. Down to 7. Do some more team building. Do another 6 damage. And confused. down to 1 health. That healing prevented us from getting the final blow on him. But our spider suit can attack for 4 and finish this thing off. So like I said, I know I was going up against something easy, but I wanted to see how all these cards work. So as far as Spider Ham, I mean, the core cards for each of these, well, I'll go with Spider Ham. I think they're all great. I really like them. The Justice build is definitely not something I would have went with, but I know why they do it. I've got to start somewhere. So Spider Ham, really love his cards. I think I'm going to like him in Justice. I'm just going to swap a lot of those cards out. So for the spider suit, I don't think I ever flipped on purpose to Penny Parker, except for the obligation coming out. So really enjoy the way that works. So I was real nervous about the way Hand Size of 3 was going to work, but the fact that you can use all your interfaces as resources to exhaust them, plus getting Aunt May and Uncle Ben out to start grabbing some cards at random there was useful. Never did get to use a thwip, but taking a damage to stun 2 enemies seems like a good deal. And of course, the spider tingle is awesome. So with that, hope you enjoyed this playthrough. First time using the spider suit and Spider Ham. Be sure to press on the like below, and thanks for watching.